And we're getting you exclusive details now about the suspected suicide bomber, Mohammed Omar. Now, this man was reportedly thrown out of hospital over the death of a patient. Remember, he's a doctor at a hospital and he was expelled from a hospital back in 2023. This is from the Anantnag Medical College in Kashmir. He was expelled over medical negligence. Now, there was even an inquiry that looked into this particular case in which they had confirmed that Mohammed Omar had abandoned duty, causing a patient's death. CCTV footage had exposed his lie. And this was when he was expelled back in 2023, after which he was recruited by another medical college. So he continued to serve, of course, but this gives you a sense of who this man was. Remember that him, along with a bunch of other doctors, were also going ahead and operating as terrorists, going ahead and recruiting, building up ammunition, a huge cache of arms that were found with them, including over 2,000 kgs of explosive material. I want to bring in Balakrishna, who is our senior executive editor with our fact check team. Balakrishna, take me through what you've really found about this man, about Mohammed Omar.
So, if you are listening to to what the family members of Umar said when the media reached their home, his bhabi was saying that he would, when he come to home, he was very fond of children and he would close himself inside a room, and he was very studious and he would study with his room closed. But now it seems that that was not the case. He might have closed himself inside a room, but maybe up to something else, because we tracked his journey back to 2023 when he had passed out from Srinagar Medical College, from where he did his MBBS and then MD, and then he went to Anantnag Medical College, Anantnag Government Medical College, where he was doing his senior residency. But soon after he joined, there were multiple complaints against him. The people complained that he was rude, he was not paying attention to the patients, and there were multiple complaints against him, including paramedical staff. But then one day a patient died, and it came when there was the patient's complaint to the medical superintendent of the hospital, and then an inquiry was set up. So there was 4 doctors who were in the committee, and they eventually found that he was not present, he was absent. And when he was confronted with this, he first denied that. He said that he was present, but in the CCTV footage,
there was clear evidence of medical negligence that led to his expulsion. And now, of course, if you look at the details that have emerged after that, this was in 2023 when he was part of the Anantnag Medical College. He was in fact expelled from that college because of this particular inquiry. After which he then went into the Al-Falah University, I'm assuming. That's where he met with the other doctors, all of whom have been taken into custody. In all, 5 doctors, including Dr. Umar, have been identified as being a part of this massive terror network. 3 are in custody, 1 is absconding. But there is a suspicion that it's a lot bigger than that. This Dr. Umar, and you know, it's shocking that all of these terrorists who've been taken into custody, they're all doctors. They were all serving doctors. And yet this is what they were doing. This truly is shocking, eye-opening. It's impossible really to wrap your head around the fact that these people who were going ahead and plotting this massive terror attack in Delhi were also doctors, people were of course going ahead and believing that they would save lives, their own loved ones' lives as well, all the while they were plotting to bleed the country. Dr. Umar, believed to be the mastermind, the one who executed the attack near Red Fort on 10th November evening. There's not much known about him, but pictures do show him sitting in that particular vehicle where he's wearing a black mask to cover his face. Considering these times in Delhi, it's fairly normal to wear a mask. It didn't really raise a red flag. So he passed through tolls, he stopped at a petrol pump for a pollution check of his vehicle. He drove around, stopped at a parking lot for 3 hours, went completely unnoticed. Let's get you all the details that we know about this man. Now, the suspected suicide bomber who took 9 lives.
Mohammed Omar was a doctor, and he was the owner of the moving I-20 car that exploded near the Red Fort metro station on the 10th of November, right before the clock struck 7 p.m. Dr. Umar was an MD in internal medicine from GMC Srinagar and was working at the Al-Falah Medical College in Faridabad. He is the alleged terror trigger in the Red Fort metro station blast on the 10th of November. Most members of his family in Pulwama are now in police detention and interrogation.
पढ़ाई के अलावा वो कुछ नहीं करता था, बस खाली पढ़ता था। वो किताबी कीड़ा था।
पुलिस आई रात के 10 बजे, 10 साढ़े 10 बजे आ गई थी और उन दोनों भाइयों को लेकर चली गई। पहले एक को ले गई, फिर दूसरे को ले। अब ये हमारी होप थी, हमें पता था कमाने वाला खाली वही था। तो आपको भी शौक लगा? कोई इंडिकेशन कभी थी कि ऐसा कुछ कर रहे हो?
नहीं, ऐसी तो कोई बात ही नहीं थी।
Dr. Umar allegedly drove the loaded I-20 car into the parking of the Suneri Mosque at around 3:19 p.m. For the next 3 hours, the car remained parked with him inside it. Then he took the car out of the parking lot, and within minutes, the blast took place. Dr. Mohammed Omar died in the explosion in all likelihood, but DNA tests will prove whether it was really him in the car.
Took out the car from parking area, and then the car was driven around the Red Fort area. When the car was seen stopped there at the red light of the Red Fort, there at 6:52 p.m. the blast took place. But the point here is that how explosives were taken inside Delhi. All these things are now being investigated by the senior police officials.
According to sources, Dr. Umar was also part of the Faridabad terror module. Bureau Report, India Today.
So let's break down for you, in the last many hours, who are the prime conspirators linked to mastermind Umar who've been taken into custody. Because mind you, this is still a terror web that's unraveling before our eyes, that's yet to be fully revealed for authorities. There is Dr. Mohammed Omar, who we've been talking about, the suspected suicide bomber, a doctor, believe it or not, who carried out the Red Fort blast. He was sitting, driving that particular I-20 that went off, exploded at the Red Fort. Then, right after this now, we've had in the last few hours, Dr. Adil Ahmed Rater taken into custody, part of the Faridabad terror module, and reportedly a close aide of Umar, a close friend of his. Dr. Muzammil Shakil operated closely with Umar and also worked at the same university. This is a university in Faridabad called the Al-Falah University. And you'll find that most of these doctors are linked to this particular university. There's a jihadi lady doctor, Dr. Shahid, part again of the Faridabad terror module, again worked at Al-Falah University with Umar. So you see clearly the connect is clear. They were all working together, they were colleagues, and then came together and built a terror network, believe it or not. Dr. Ahmed Mohiuddin Saeed, part of the Faridabad terror module. 5 doctors, all right now identified. There's one more from Lucknow who at this point remains absconding. There are raids underway to identify who else was involved. But there have been a whole lot of developments that have come in the last few hours, with this particular incident in Delhi sending shockwaves as expected across the nation. Who would have thought that in the national capital, in the heart of Delhi, this kind of a blast and explosion could take place? There are questions, of course, about a security lapse as well. But